vulnerable, being vulnerable, being vulnerable, being vulnerable, being vulnerable, being vulnerable. Being vulnerable is something that I've got to do to work in the mental health industry and support people through. Sometimes I always be myself and show who I really are through the work I do, which is helping other people. Being vulnerable is so difficult in my life, but sometimes when you're helping others, you gotta be who you are. Show the truth, show the real things that's been going on. Be who you want to be and show your true self. Being vulnerable, 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 and showing who you are. Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Rose. I'm an author, mentor, life coach, motivational speaker and evangelist. In this video, I'm going to discuss all my life experiences I've experienced, which has made me vulnerable and has been very difficult to experience. The reason why I'm sharing my life experiences is to show my vulnerability and to show people that you can go through difficult times in your life and difficult life experiences, but you can become the person you want to be with a bit of persistence and patience, passion and purpose. So I hope you really understand my life experiences and understand what I've really been through. So the first thing I've experienced was having an abortion behind my back. One of my ex-girlfriends that I was obviously seeing in the past had an abortion behind my back and killed one of my children. So that was a very horrible experience for me. It left me feeling vulnerable and upset, and that was one of the triggers for a mental health condition that I developed. My second life experience is having a mental health breakdown and a crisis. I was only about 15 when I first had my mental health breakdown and tried to commit suicide. I was young, I was vulnerable, I was upset, I was low, I was depressed, and I was going through quite a mental health challenge in a very difficult time in my life. And, I just had a mental health breakdown and completely suffered. And that was a horrible thing to experience. And obviously with my mental health condition and problems of schizophrenia, psychosis and depression, I've always struggled with my mental health, which makes life very difficult for me and very challenging. So, mental health is a very serious thing, And, I've had mental health for the last 17 years now, which is a long time. My third life experience is obviously losing relationships. I lost quite a lot of important relationships in the past with women that I was seeing. Many ex-girlfriends I've had, but the one relationship that I really treasured, which was really important to me, was a relationship with a female called Deirdre, and I was with her for a couple of years. We were seeing each other, and then we broke up because I was abusive within the relationship. I was bad within the relationship, and it just didn't work out because of my behavior and because of me having mental health problems and conditions and other things I was experiencing. I've also had other relationships with other women as well. Another relationship I had was with a female called Bumties, which is a nickname, and her real name is Deepa. And obviously I was seeing her for a couple of years, and then the relationship broke up because we were in two different parts in our life. She wanted to do other things compared to me, and I had a different view of seeing things, so it just didn't work out. So losing relationships is something I've experienced within my life. Is a very difficult thing. Some more of my life experiences dropping out of university. I've done 2 degrees within my life. I've studied business management and business information technology. I dropped out of both degrees because I realized that I didn't want to do those degrees. It's just something I wasn't interested in. I do have an interest in business. I just think at the time, I wasn't ready to be a student in university, and I was finding the studying quite difficult and challenging. So I just thought if it'll be best if I drop out of university and pursue the path of helping other people, giving back and making a difference. So my next experience is seeing someone lose their life. I was young when I saw a person that I was helping lose their life in front of my eyes. Someone that I was helping in the middle of the street. They had an accident and they were going through a vulnerable, difficult time. I helped this man. And then, obviously, due to the doctors and the nurses that were there and the police that were there trying to help him to recover and get well, obviously, unfortunately, the person lost his life. And that day was a very difficult day for me, very challenging day. But that day taught me a lesson that has stayed with me ever since, which was to work in the mental health industry and to support other people. And I remember specifically that day I devoted my life into helping other people, giving back and making a difference. And now, obviously, within my life, I've been working in mental health for the last 6 or 7 years. Some more of my life experiences. I've been homeless before. I've lost my property and all my possessions in the fire. That was a very, very difficult experience for me. Obviously, I had a fire in my property, which was an accident. I didn't mean to cause the fire. It was just a very accidental thing that happened, and all my home that I was living in got caught on fire. Everything that I had burnt away, and I was left vulnerable and homeless, which is a very serious thing, and it really destroyed me. It really upset me, and it really ruined my life. The next experience is having a drug overdose. When I was younger, I smoked some weed or cannabis, if you want to call it. I had this unusual experience that my heart was having palpitations, I was seeing delusions and visions, and I just blacked out because of the drugs. It was so powerful, and my mind just completely blacked out, and I was in another place. I don't know where I was. I was very vulnerable at that time, and then I went to the hospital, Springfield Hospital, to get some support because I was just in a very overdose drug way, and it was very, very difficult, very, very challenging. Some more experiences. My grandfather lost his life. I recently lost my grandfather due to him being unwell and not being healthy at all, and he lost his life, and that's a very difficult life experience to go through. Obviously, my grandfather was loved by my family, and obviously since his passing, obviously it's been difficult for the family, and obviously for my uncles and my mum and my brothers and sisters and my cousins and my nieces and nephews. So that's a difficult experience I've been through. Some more life experiences. My mother was ill with breast cancer in her life. I saw my mother go through the most horrible time in her life. She was vulnerable, she was down, she was low, she's had breast cancer. And obviously, me and my brothers and sisters supported her mum, and now she's recovered, obviously, due to the help of the doctors and the nurses. And obviously, my mum is better now. Some more life experiences. Um, I got support and help from two people that helped me in the mental health industry, named Paul Dorrington and Karen Michigan. Paul Dorrington was a leading employment specialist. Karen Michigan is a clinical psychologist. When I lost my home and all my possessions and became homeless, I was sectioned into hospital because of my mental health conditions. And due to being in hospital, I received support and help. Paul and Karen taught me about helping other people, giving back and making a difference. And I learned all the things that I know about helping other people from those two. I was with them for a period of time, both of them, and they were both helping me. Paul was helping me in the community, teaching me about mental health, spirituality, personal development, mental health, reading, books, lots of different things, exercise and health, fitness, and I learned so much things from Paul. And then Karen was helping me through therapy, going through counselling therapy, discussing my feelings and emotions, my past, the fire, my problems, the situations I've experienced. After I worked with Paul and Karen, I realised that I wanted to help other people, give back and make a difference. And then I started to do the work of helping others, giving back and making a difference, and supporting people in my life and making a contribution. Some more life experiences. I've had a heart operation before because I had a condition called Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, which is a condition that affects the heart. So I had to have an operation to obviously sort out abpidation or something like that, to get the Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome out of my heart. So that was a very serious time, very difficult surgery, but luckily I survived, and now I'm well and healthy now, and my heart is okay, and obviously it's doing well. And then obviously I got diagnosed with diabetes. I've only been diagnosed with diabetes for about 2 years now. One day my vision was becoming blurry and my blood sugar levels were really high. So when I went to the hospital to find out what's going on with my body, they told me I got diabetes, and then I started to go through the treatment in hospital, and then I just started to manage my own diabetical needs from home. So taking insulin, exercising at the gym, taking walks, and just looking after myself. And also, I've got learning difficulties as well. I've always had dyslexia for many years. Ever since I was growing up in school, it's been very difficult to learn and to study certain things. And yeah, I've just always had learning difficulties. So that's my dyslexia. So these are most of my life experiences. There's obviously things I haven't shared, but obviously these are the main things that happened to me, and obviously it's quite a lot of life experience that I experienced. But because of my vulnerability and because I'm openly sharing it in this track, I realized that, I have come a long way and I have suffered a lot and I have experienced a lot, but the person I am today is based on all the life experiences that I've been through. And I can't be the person I am today without going through the experiences that I had. So I don't regret or neglect the personal life experiences I've experienced. I think it has helped me in some way to be who I am, to be strong, determined, passionate, purposeful, meaningful, valuable, and obviously to do the work that I do in my life, which is mental health work and helping other people. So, coming from all those life experiences has really made me who I am. And I think I will say in this track that it's very important to be vulnerable. Show who you really are. Be honest with yourself. Show your integrity. Show your purpose and your passion. And just be yourself. Because when you're yourself, that's the beautifulest gift in life. Being who you really are. Showing who you really are. And just being the person that you're destined to be. So I hope this track has helped, and I hope my life experiences has showed you that you can come from a difficult time, but you can overcome it and be the person you want to be. So thank you. vulnerability is very important, and you have to remain true to who you are. Being honest with yourself, being truthful with yourself, having a level of integrity, meaning and value is very important in vulnerability. It's very important to show who you really are and also to help other people and what they're going through. Vulnerability is very important in your life, and you have to remember that when you are vulnerable, when you are going through difficult times, when you are going through challenging times, you can find ways through it by being honest and being open with yourself and looking after yourself. So make sure that people, when you are helping other people, giving back and making a difference, you remain vulnerable and you keep a level of truth and integrity and be true to yourself. Helping other people is very important, and vulnerability is very important as well. So make sure that people, you remain vulnerable, you help other people, and you just be who you really are in the work that you do. And thank you for enjoying this album, and I hope you will be vulnerable in your life and be true to yourself. So thank you.